Yo guys, how's it going? It's me, Arctic Phoenix. Today we are going over the character Diluc. Now I managed to roll him last banner, so I've got him around, which also means that my next roll on a banner will actually be the guaranteed character on the banner. So that's very happy. I've heard rumors that Ganyu is coming, also a character called Albedo, who's going to be like a Geo bow user or something. That could be interesting. However, I do want Ganyu. So anyway, we're using Diluc today. We're going to go over some builds to use with him, also some general tips with like using him, different kind of builds you could go for. But yeah, so if you guys enjoy the video, leave a like down below. It's very much appreciated. But let's get into the build. So the first thing about Diluc is that he definitely scales off of crit rate. When you ascend him, he actually gets some more crit rate. If you look right here on his ascension, it goes from 61% to 66.2. So that's like a 5% increase, just about. I do have artifacts that boost it up anyway, but usually anything over 50 is good because 50% of the time you're hitting crits. Crits on Diluc are pretty good. But if you don't want to run a high crit, you don't have to. This is my personal preference. Another thing about Diluc that I'm using is his elemental mastery. I've got it at 188, which actually increases my overload damage by like 80%. It also increases vaporize and melt by 33%. So basically I'm trying to keep the build I have right here pretty intact, because you don't necessarily want to just increase your attack stat only. It also helps to do elemental mastery depending on how you use him for. And Diluc definitely is good at dealing out big, massive chunks of damage with his elemental abilities. For his talents, I just got him recently, so I don't have him fully leveled up. Like, I can level him up to level 5, I think. But his first thing, he uses a claymore. He does 4 hits with it. You gotta keep that in mind a little bit, because you can do 3 hits and then use one of his E abilities, because this has 3 charges, and if you time it correctly, you'll actually be able to do 3 of these hits, and then 1 of these hits, and then just do that 2 more times. Also, his charged attack, he kind of does the Beto kind of swing thing. Pairs nicely with his passive talent. Diluc's charged attack stamina cost is decreased by 50%, and you get 3 extra seconds. It can be pretty good if you need a bunch of physical damage, but other than that, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. As for his E ability, Searing Onslaught, this is really good because you can do large amounts of pyro damage hits, which are pretty good because this will actually light stuff on fire and also activate overload. It's pretty good because the cooldown isn't very long. It's like it says 10 seconds, but it actually starts your cooldown while you're in the ability. So usually it ends up around 5 or 6 seconds by the time you get out of it. Ult right here. Basically, he does a big bird that does a lot of slash damage. It does 255% of his attack as slash damage, and this is only level 4. If you get to like level 8, I think it does 300+%, close to 400. Damage over time is pretty good because this will actually do this per tick of the fire. Also, explosion damage, I think this does this at the end, or it might do it at the beginning some point. But this is going to finish up that big massive attack with something like this. This does have a 12-second cooldown, which is actually pretty good because the energy cost on this is 40, which is half of usually other characters' ults. So this is doing a lot of damage, a lot of ad clear, a lot of single target damage. Good energy, like you don't have to run energy recharge on Diluc because he pretty much gets his ult back pretty fast anyway if you're just using him for elemental ability combos. And so the other thing about his ult is that it gives you an enhancement. Now this will actually boost some of your pyro damage. It makes your normal attacks do pyro damage, which can be good, it can be bad depending on what you're fighting. If you're fighting fire slimes, you obviously can't damage them because they're immune. But if you're fighting anything else, this is good because then you can also pair that up with the Searing Onslaught, and this will actually just give you more fire abilities. It's pretty good after his super. And the talent that goes with that is that the pyro enhancement provided by Dawn lasts 4 more seconds. So in addition to the 8 seconds, you're getting 4 more, which puts it at 12 seconds. Which is actually, funny enough, the duration cooldown of super. So you could effectively, if you ran Elemental Mastery and Energy Recharge on him, you would actually be able to have constant fire damage, which could be good if you want to have him out on the field the whole time. But I don't think that's what Diluc is completely as good for. For my artifacts I have on him, Berserk set is a pretty good one if you want crit rate, but he scales our crit rate, so that's not as good the further you go because you have more crit rate. Anyway, you only can need really so much crit rate. But another good set is the Gladiator set. I have attack stat on here. Also, good substats for him are crit damage because he scales off of crit rate. Elemental Mastery is pretty good because you're activating a bunch of elemental abilities if you use them with other characters that I have. Also, the main set I'm trying to get for him is the Witch's Scorching set. So this is like the Witch's set. This I have like crit rate on because having like over 50% crit rate is very good. This also has attack percent. Also with the attack flat rate, this actually increases like your base attack, which is what the attack percentage scales off of. So if you have artifacts with a substat of this, it's actually helping you out a lot more than you'd think, because combined with the attack percentages on your main stats of your artifacts, it's actually giving you a lot more attack than you normally would if you just ran off attack percentage. Once again, I have Elemental Mastery, but the set bonus from this is very, very good because it gives you a 2-piece set boost of pyro damage by 15%, which is pretty good because a lot of what you're going to be doing with his ult, for example, is pyro damage. So if you're boosting up your ult's damage, because that only is using pyro damage and your attack. So if you're scaling up your attack percent with also pyro damage percent, you're getting a lot more damage than you would if you just scaled off of attack percent. So the 4-piece set increases your overload and burning damage by 40%. So 40% along with the 80% bonus, that's 120% extra overload damage if you have this 4-piece set. And it also increases your vaporize and melt by 15%. That's basically just increasing your elemental mastery effectively. And so also on this, using an elemental skill increases the 2-piece set effects by 50% for 10 seconds. So basically, you're getting 15% base right here, plus like 50% of that, so that's about 7.5. So that boosts up your elemental mastery even more. And you can actually get 3 stacks of this. So if you're hitting 3 of your sword slashes, each one is increasing it by 7.5%. So that's actually pretty good, because if you get the 3 attack and then you use your ult or something, then you're going to be dealing approximately, like, I'd say 37 actually percent more pyro damage with that. But yeah, so I don't have over 2,000 damage, but the elemental mastery and the crit rate actually make up for that and actually allow me to deal probably a lot more damage than I normally would be. I'm gonna go in here to the spiral abyss. Actually, we're gonna do floor 7 because I just want to show you how good that my team comp and Diluc is actually for breaking Fatui shields. He literally just destroys them. Okay, so for bonuses, charge attack, stamina consumption, I mean that's literally very neutral. But I think I'll just boost up our defense just because I don't want to die. So basically we're just going to deal a lot of damage to these. I'm getting a little bit of lag. We're going to go for this dude first. That did a bunch of shock damage, like look how much we're doing. We cast our ult here, it just destroyed him. We kill him through his shield. We do that here. We also have our abilities again. And his sword is doing flame damage. Like, yo, I just got a 12,000 crit there.
Sacred name, fortune preserver.
That 12,000 crit was actually really good. Yo, it's 4,000 crits do huge damage. But now we can just pop this. I did a lot. We're gonna Fishl ult here, because we gotta kill this dude over here. Forgot about that. Vaporize damage is doing pretty decent. Also, Jean, I have Elemental Mastery and just straight. Look, that Fishl combo, it's doing a lot. Oh, he's down. Watch this. Okay. Oh, I don't have a cooldown, but yeah, I can create a bunch of energy, and it actually works really good. So swirl, Jean does a lot of swirl damage, and I have my ult. Easy. But if you guys enjoyed the video, a like down below is very much appreciated. But anyway, it's been your boy Arctic Phoenix. I'll see you guys next time. Farewell. Ganyu is coming.